Welcome back to the channel, everyone. In today's video, we are going to do a complete and proper breakdown of trinkets in Blox Fruits. This video is only about trinkets, not accessories, not hats, not items you equip in the accessory slot. Trinkets are a completely different system, and many players are still confused about which ones are actually good and which ones they should focus on farming. Trinkets are obtained from dungeon raids, and they are one of the most important progression systems in the game right now. You can equip two trinkets at the same time, and they directly increase your stats such as fruit, melee, sword, gun, and defense. As you upgrade trinkets by fusing them, they become stronger and can also roll special modifiers that make a huge difference in PvP and PvE. In this video, I will explain which trinkets are best for PvP, raids, grinding, sea events, overall gameplay, fruit mains, and sword mains. Everything will be explained slowly and clearly so you understand not just which trinket is good, but why it is good. Let's start by quickly understanding how trinkets work. Trinkets come in tiers from Tier 1 to Tier 3. Tier 1 and Tier 2 trinkets give basic stat boosts. Tier 3 and Tier 4 trinkets are where things become really strong because they can roll modifiers. These modifiers can increase damage, improve survivability, or give bonuses against specific enemies. In almost every case, a Tier 3 or Tier 4 trinket is far better than a low Tier 1, even if the base trinket type is the same. That is why fusion matters so much. Now let's move into the actual trinkets that exist in the game and how they perform in different situations. First, let's talk about PvP, because this is where most players care about optimization. In PvP, the most important things are balanced damage, survivability, and consistency. You do not want to be too glass cannon, but you also do not want to lack damage. This is where the Ring of the Arcanist becomes extremely powerful. The Ring of the Arcanist boosts fruit damage and defense at the same time. This makes it one of the best trinkets for PvP because you can deal strong damage while also surviving longer in fights. In long battles, especially against skilled players, defense matters just as much as damage, and that is why the Ring of the Arcanist is considered one of the best PvP trinkets in the game. Another very strong PvP trinket is the Ring of Twin Blades. This trinket boosts fruit and sword stats together. It is especially good for hybrid players who use both fruit abilities and sword combos. Many PvP builds rely on stunning the enemy with fruit abilities and then finishing them with sword attacks. The Ring of Twin Blades supports this playstyle perfectly and becomes even stronger at Tier 3 and Tier 4 when modifiers are added. The Ring of Might is also a powerful PvP option, especially for players who fight at close range. This trinket boosts melee and sword stats, making it ideal for aggressive sword users and Buddha players who rely heavily on melee combat. While it does not give defense like the Ring of the Arcanist, it compensates with higher raw damage. For PvP, one of the strongest trinket combinations is using the Ring of the Arcanist together with the Ring of Twin Blades for fruit-based PvP, or the Ring of the Arcanist together with the Ring of Might for sword-focused PvP. These combinations give a strong balance of offense and defense and work well in most situations. Now let's move on to raids. Raids are very different from PvP because you are fighting large groups of NPCs over a long period of time. In raids, sustained damage and survivability are far more important than burst damage. This is where the Ring of Spirit truly shines. The Ring of Spirit boosts fruit and melee stats, making it one of the best trinkets for PvE content. With higher fruit damage, you can clear raid enemies faster, and the melee boost is especially useful for Buddha users who rely on melee attacks. In almost every raid scenario, the Ring of Spirit provides massive value and helps speed up completion time. Pairing the Ring of Spirit with the Ring of the Arcanist is one of the best raid setups in the game. The Ring of Spirit gives you damage, while the Ring of the Arcanist provides defense so you do not get overwhelmed by enemies. This combination is very safe and very efficient. The Ring of Might is another strong option for raids, particularly for Buddha players. Since Buddha relies heavily on melee damage, the melee and sword boosts from the Ring of Might significantly increase raid clearing speed. While it does not boost fruit damage, it is still extremely effective for certain builds. When it comes to grinding and leveling, the priorities change slightly. Grinding is all about killing NPCs as fast as possible, to gain experience quickly. Defense is less important here because most grinding enemies are predictable and easy to manage. For grinding, the Ring of Spirit is easily the best trinket in the game. The fruit and melee boosts allow you to kill NPCs much faster, whether you are using fruit abilities or melee attacks. This trinket alone can noticeably reduce the time it takes to level up. The Ring of Might is also excellent for grinding, especially for melee-based grinding with Buddha. Many players use a combination of Ring of Spirit and Ring of Might to maximize damage output and speed through levels as fast as possible. The Ring of Twin Blades can also be useful for grinding if you rely on sword and fruit together. It is not as strong as the Ring of Spirit for pure grinding, but it still performs very well, especially at higher tiers. Now let's talk about sea events, which include sea beasts, terror sharks, and leviathan fights. Sea events are some of the most dangerous content in the game. Enemies deal high damage, fights last a long time, and survivability becomes extremely important. Because of this, the Ring of the Arcanist is the single best trinket for sea events. The defense boost helps you survive heavy attacks, while the fruit damage boost ensures you can still contribute meaningful damage. The Ring of Steelheart is another strong trinket for sea events. This trinket boosts fruit and gun stats, making it useful for ranged combat during sea fights. If you prefer to attack from a distance rather than fighting up close, the Ring of Steelheart is a very good choice. The Ring of Spirit can also be used in sea events for extra damage, but it should usually be paired with a defensive trinket like the Ring of the Arcanist. Pure damage without defense can be risky in sea content. Overall, one of the safest sea event setups is using the Ring of the Arcanist together with the Ring of Steelheart or Ring of Spirit, depending on whether you want more defense or more damage. Now let's talk about the best trinkets overall. If we look at the game as a whole, the Ring of the Arcanist is the most versatile trinket in Blox Fruits. It works well in PvP, raids, grinding, and sea events. It is rarely a bad choice no matter what content you are doing. The Ring of Spirit is the best trinket for PvE damage. If your goal is farming, raids, or fast progression, this trinket is almost always worth using. The Ring of Twin Blades is the best hybrid trinket for players who combine fruit and sword gameplay. The Ring of Might is the best trinket for melee and sword-focused builds, especially for Buddha users. These 4 trinkets cover almost every playstyle in the game. Now let's focus specifically on fruit mains. If you are a fruit main, your main priority is fruit damage, but you also need enough survivability to stay alive in fights. The Ring of Spirit is the best trinket for fruit mains because it provides the highest boost to fruit damage, while also improving melee damage for close-range situations. Pairing the Ring of Spirit with the Ring of the Arcanist is the best setup for most fruit mains. This combination gives you strong fruit damage and enough defense to survive PvP, raids, and sea events. This setup works extremely well for fruits like Dough, Kitsune, Magma, Blizzard, Light, and Control. The Ring of Steelheart is also a good option for fruit mains who prefer ranged combat, especially in sea events or large open areas. Finally, let's talk about sword mains. Sword mains rely heavily on melee and sword damage, and they often fight at close range. The Ring of Might is the best trinket for sword mains because it directly boosts melee and sword stats, increasing combo damage and overall DPS. The Ring of Twin Blades is another excellent choice for sword mains who use fruit abilities to support their sword attacks. This trinket allows you to maintain strong sword damage while still benefiting from fruit stat boosts. For survivability, sword mains should strongly consider pairing their damage trinket with the Ring of the Arcanist. Defense is extremely important in close-range combat, and the Ring of the Arcanist helps prevent you from getting eliminated too quickly. To conclude this video, trinkets are one of the most important systems in Blox Fruits, and choosing the right ones can massively improve your performance in every part of the game. The Ring of the Arcanist and Ring of Spirit are the safest and strongest choices for most players, while the Ring of Might, Ring of Twin Blades, and Ring of Steelheart allow you to specialize your build even further. If this guide helped you understand trinkets better, make sure to like the video, subscribe to the channel, and comment which trinket combination you are currently using. If you want a follow-up video on the best trinket modifiers, fusion strategies, or dungeon farming tips, let me know in the comments. Thanks for watching, and I will see you in the next video.